Aquarius ascendant, Aquarius rising, how you be? I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you for being here with me. This is your July, rest of July. We're gonna go over your life. We're gonna spend, I don't know how much time, and I don't know what we're gonna talk about. Yes, I do, I'm lying. I know exactly what we're gonna talk about, but you never know what's gonna come through. Five things we have to discuss for the rest of July. We're going to talk about family. We're going to talk about self. We're going to talk about significant one-on-one relationships. We're going to talk about home, mom. We're going to talk about feelings and emotions, mothering, nurturing, empathy, understanding. We're going to go through all of this and discover who is part of my tribe. Do I need a tribe? What does my tribe look like now? This is the elements. These are the times. This is the energy. We're going to talk about the new moon. I almost forgot. The new moon. We have a new moon in the sign of Cancer. What is that going to mean for you? New moons are a time of wishing. All right, Aquarius, let's take a look. Let's dive into who you are. Let's see what we can see to understand how we can navigate these waters of your life. Cancer energy is the point of focus because in the mid-July, 12th, 13th, 14th, the planet Mercury stops going backwards. It's done with its retrograde. So this has to do with your thinking. How do we think? How do we think? How do we feel about family, mom, community? Do we have any unity? Are we considering this person to be part of my family, this person to be part of my family? Are we realizing this person is no longer going to be part of my family? This is all Cancer, Mercury stuff. When Mercury was sitting in Cancer, Mercury was thinking, plotting, going back, reviewing, trying to figure out what does it need for emotional security. Because that is what Cancer is. It's this whole thing right here. My inner being, my sacred space. What do I need for emotional stability? What do I need for my feelings to feel stable, to feel secure? Emotional stability. And this Cancer energy, this thinking, this feeling about thinking, this thinking about what do I feel, this is in the 6th house location. So you very likely could also have come to the realization that how you feel, if you already don't know this, you could have come to the realization that how you feel affects the way you physically feel. And when I say how you feel, that means your emotions. You may have discovered that your emotions affect your physical body, that your emotions, when your stuff's not right here, it expresses, it can be visibly seen and felt in the body. It's the tangible and the material and the non-tangible, the emotional world penetrating the physical world, and how to navigate that, how to understand that to have health and vitality and to be at peace, I need certain ingredients. And so after Mercury's done with its retrograde, it should have more information. It should have nuggets of knowledge that it didn't have before. It should have a clearer understanding. It's not done yet, though. I mean, the retrograde's over, but Mercury, our thinking, is most best. It expresses best, it works best, it operates best when it's in air. But Cancer is water. So our thinking is still going to be slow. We're still not getting the sharpness and the wittiness and the clarity that we may sometimes experience with our thinking because it's still in the emotional waters. And there's a new moon on the 20th of July. The new moon is in your 6th house. Again, the 6th house is where Mercury just spent all that time. So this is about my work, my health habits, my work habits, my daily routines. This is that Cancer placement. This is Cancer saying, okay, my feelings and my emotions, my emotional security, my sacred space, what are the habits I need to establish that provide emotional security, that provide emotional stability, that give my feelings a sense of peace and oneness? What are the things I need to do? What habits do I need to set in place? And this is what this is. This whole month of July, the second half of July, a big emphasis on self-care And this self-care isn't necessarily, okay, I got to take care of the body, I got to eat right. It's also establishing a mental stability, a mental routine. So that might be, I need to spend time alone every day, or I need to talk to people in my family every day, or people, you know, who they don't have to be blood relatives, but I consider them family. I need to touch in with them. There may be things that you need to do, and mom could very likely be one of those people, because the sign of Cancer represents mother. Now, when we talk about mother, when in astrology, anytime the name, you know, mother is used, it could be any feminine energy in your life, which doesn't mean female, it just means feminine energy, because we all have masculine and feminine energies. So anytime we talk about mom, anytime we talk about Cancer, anytime we talk about the feminine qualities, it's any person in your life that exudes feminine qualities of nurturing, of understanding, of empathy, of sensitivities, sensitive to what you're going through, a sympathetic ear, right? Someone who listens and who sincerely understands you. That would be something that would really contribute to your emotional security. So you are figuring that out if you already don't know it. And the new moon is going to be an important time. So this is on the 20th. And on that day, I'm not going to lie, this is not an easy new moon, all right? Because we have the sun and we have the moon in the sign of Cancer at 28 degrees, but at the opposite end of them, we have Saturn exactly at 28 degrees. Cancer energy is mom. And the Capricorn energy typically represents the masculine authority figure in our life. So that could be dad. I'll be so glad when Mercury is out of Cancer. You just don't know. There is this, I need this for emotional stability. I need this going forward. But at the same time, having Saturn there, Saturn sets rules. Saturn says, but these are your responsibilities. Some say there's a compromise that has to be made. Some say, okay, we can get to that. We can do this for you, but like there might be a string attached or something. I say, agree. Okay, yeah, I know I have these responsibilities. I know I have to take care of that, but I need this for myself. I know I need this. This is important, because if I don't take care of this, I won't be able to do this. And so this is a big part of the last part of July, knowing what that is for you, how to emotionally set boundaries, things where you know, okay, I got to make this right for me. It's not a sense of being selfish. It's a matter of survival. It's a matter of being the change that you want to see. That's really what this is. It's understanding, I gotta make all of this right inside of here. And we're birthing this. We have support. We have universal support. Yes, there's gonna be testing. There's gonna be tension and stress. So that brings me to number 3. I know I probably haven't been keeping track, but this is number 3, we're gonna call it. Once we move to the 25th of the month, actually from the 25th all the way to the end of the month, there's a lot going on actually. And it might seem like one thing, but when I look at it energetically, I'm dissecting it and I'm seeing we've got my values, we've got my thinking, we've got very idealistic relations going on, like dreamy conversations. We've got, oh, I love this, or oh, I love you. So there's a whole bunch of that going on at the same time. At the same time, we have our thinking and our talking and our speaking being fired up by Mars, being squared up by Mars. So it's combative conversations. And we have to harness our Martian energy and understand where that's taking place in our life. So for you, Aquarius ascendant, this is in your 3rd house. Now remember, your 3rd house has to do with your siblings, has to do people who are in your immediate environment. So maybe you're living wherever you're living, there are no siblings, it's peers. It's whoever is near you. Your mouth, you're talking, Mars is rejuvenated here. Mars, this is where Mars is at home in the sign of Aries. So what's going to occur, you might see that you're saying things you've never said before. You might find yourself popping off at the mouth in ways where you've done it before. It's amped up. It's like on 10 now all the time. be aware of this. Grab Mars. Remember, Mars is a tool. You got to make sure that you have some sort of control on Mars, because Mars is just the ego and the personality. And you have to kind of, there's times when it's needed, but Mars is short-sighted. It doesn't think things through. Remember, Mars leaps before it looks, right? Mars dives before it knows, right? It doesn't check things out. It doesn't know before it goes. It just says, this is what I want and I'm going for it. And this is what I feel like saying. This is what I think. Therefore, I'm going to say it. Having Mars in the 3rd house for the next 6 months means you're going to have to be super aware of what you're saying. You're going to have to really create more of a speaking filter for yourself before you share what you're thinking. And if you know that in advance, you're going to be fine. Otherwise, you could find that your Martian energy is coming out with some combative words. Now, that also means that there may be others in your life who come to you with combative words, because that's how energy works. It's not just here, but it's a whole picture. It's what I exude, what is within me, what I radiate. Remember, energy is a boomerang. Remember that, a boomerang. Because what we put out, it comes back around, okay? And this is a natural law. This isn't G making this up. This is a natural law. And the natural laws, there's a ton of them, but they go all the way back to the time of the ancients. And these are truths, universal truths. Doesn't matter what your religion, your spirituality, your belief, it goes beyond all of that. These are universal truths. It just is. It just is. I don't even know how else to explain it. It just is. Number two for you, Mercury and Neptune coming together. This is all happening while you're having combative conversations, combative energy. And remember, the combative energy is people who are in your immediate environment squaring up, right? And so this is going to cause stress and tension to your health, all right? That combativeness. So it's imperative that you find ways to make sure that you're avoiding. And I don't mean avoid people. I don't mean avoid conversations. Just be on alert that you're going to be looking to have verbal battles, because that's what Mars was born to do. Mars was born to fight. Mars was born with knives in its hands, right? So it can be cutting words. And so you just want to be extra aware, extra alert of that. Because if there's stress and tension, it can affect you completely and totally, can affect your physical well-being. We have some help coming. Number one, here comes the help. We've got Neptune, who is beautiful and idealistic and dreamy, but it's divine. It's divine essence coming through. And it comes through and it helps out my values. It helps out what I'm talking about. It adds a sense of beauty, and it's going to make things feel almost dreamy. This is important to know when I say almost dreamy, because at times it will be dreamlike. You may hear someone say something and you may be like, oh, really? Right? And it's like, yes, it is to not be believed. It is likely, it's under the Neptune effect. And when Neptune plays a role, when it affects our Venus energy, Venus is all about what I love and who I love, and someone coming to you with love. And if someone's coming to you with love, right, from the 25th to the 30th, I want you to wait. This is important. Wait. You want to wait till the Neptune effect wears off. The Neptune effect is the rose-colored glasses over your eyes, so you're not seeing clearly. Someone's saying something, but it's your cognitive part is not working really well at all. And so it comes through, and for you, it comes through of, oh, but she said forever, or he said till death do us part. Like, they meant it. It's that kind of a thing where you kind of want to, you're putting a different spin on the words, and they're unrealistic at times. And it can be that. There can be high expectations of people that we love. And so we just want to pay attention to those last 5 days of the month. We're likely, 5/6 days, we're likely going to be in a space for all of us where we're having higher expectations because Neptune's here. Neptune has arrived, and it's just like, oh, we have perfect love. As long as we're in this physical structure, we have to accept who we are as we are. And that includes all the things that we believe to be false. And that's, at this time, it's like, oh, but he's faultless or she's faultless, and there's no, there's nothing, and that's, that's not, yeah, as people, what makes us human is our scars, is our experiences, is our choices that we've made, is the consequences we've had to face. That's what makes us human. And that's what makes being in the physical realm a gift, actually. Some would say, gosh, it's horrible. I wish I was out of the body already. But it's actually a gift because you get an experience like no other, like in no other way, because your levels of freedom to use different sorts of energy. It's like you have the ability to be a magician if you're aware. Now, the last nugget, the one last thing we're going to talk about, the new moon. I'm smiling because the new moon, right? I talked about it earlier. It's on the 20th. It's in Cancer energy. Your new moon energy is in your 6th house. This is an opportunity to make a wish. Make a wish. The wish has to be made on the 20th. New moon is in your 6th house. 6th house is health routines. It is also your work. It's health habits. It's health routines. 6th house is alternative things. 6th house is it's family, but it's family where you can make animals your family. This would be important to know. These can be winged beings. These can be any pets that are domesticated, right? Any domesticated pets, you can consider them family. And it may not even be something that you recognize, but you may notice animals just kind of come to you. They feel okay with you. They feel safe around you. And that's when you have Cancer energy in the 6th house. Kind of cool thing. I'm into pets, kids, yeah. Anyway, yeah, animals are my children. But so I kind of understand this energy for you in a big way. There's an emotional security. So maybe if this is something for you where you haven't discovered yet, you might find this would be a place for people who have service dogs. They would go a long way in establishing emotional security for them and a recalibration, keeping them balanced. This would do that. Having pets around would be a big connection for you. At the same time, the new moon is about how do I establish an emotional security? How do I recalibrate myself? How do I find my place of peace and hold it? I want lasting emotional stability. And I need it, right? We all need this. Let's be real. We all need this. But the new moon is a time where you can set your intentions, where you can wish upon this, where you can say to the universe, hey, this is what I want, and this is what I need. This is my wish. So remember, the 20th of the month, don't wait, all right? Because within 4 hours, the moon is no longer in this sign because it's at that late degree. This is a testing degree. It's like at a critical degree, all right? So, which means you have to do this, which means you need to let the universe, you need to have clear intentions. You need to say, I know this is what I don't need for my emotional security, and sometimes that's how we figure out what we need. Sometimes it's a process of elimination, like, okay, I know I don't need that, I don't need this, I don't need that. And if that's how you have to do it, that's okay. Do whatever it is, do whatever works for you. But whatever you do, don't waste this new moon. It will help you to establish your future emotional security that will be lasting.